I was in the mission office for 6 months in the middle of my mission, an office elder, and the way the mission was organized and set up in the office, I was companions with one of the assistants. We had 3 assistants and 3 office elders. So companionship of office elders, companionship of the assistants to the president, and then one hybrid companionship, and that was me with one of the assistants. And we were expected, I think because I was with the assistant, we were expected to do just as much work as the other missionaries in the mission, even though we had to be in the office until 4 p.m. every day. So it's kind of, no pressure, but, have your numbers up and teach discussions and everything. So we we worked very hard. And during the 6 months I was there, it was near the end of the 6 months, and we hadn't seen any baptisms yet, which was a little discouraging. And we happened to run into or receive a referral from a really good member family in a neighboring area. Some missionaries. They had the mother of this family was a Relief Society president, and she was a recent convert of like a couple years, but she had a sister that lived in our area. So we decided to go over there and meet her. And we figured out pretty quick that it would be really difficult to get anything done in a quick time frame. The woman we went to see, she had a husband, but they weren't married, which is extremely common in Costa Rica. Not many people get married. They just decide to live together, and they have children, mom, dad, everything, but they're not officially married. So she wasn't married, and she had a couple daughters. And so, but they really wanted to learn. They really liked what they had seen of the church so far with the mother's sister, who was the Relief Society president in that neighboring ward. So we started teaching them. They were probably some of the most receptive, the term we use, golden investigators that I'd ever had. But she wasn't married and stuff. But they kept wanting to hear, and they were doing everything we were asking. They were reading, they were praying, they were building testimonies very quickly. And it came to the point where, we told her about, you have to get married, have to get all this cleaned up, and she understood. Her spouse was kind of against marriage, though later that changed afterwards. But during this time, she couldn't get married, and so she couldn't be baptized, which she wanted to do, but she understood why. Now, one of her daughters, the younger one, she was 13 years old at the time, 13 or 14, very bright, very smart for her age, but she really liked everything as well, and she wanted to be baptized. And it's not very common to baptize a 13-year-old girl, or none of her family are members. You don't want to baptize somebody if they're just going to fall away, if they don't have that support that's needed. But her mother was very, very supportive, and she had extremely supportive aunt and cousins who were all active in the church. So being in the office as I was, the mission president said, go ahead and do it. We have a good relationship with her extended family that can support her. And so that was my one and only baptism in that area, was a 13-year-old girl. And it was wonderful, Spirit was there and everything. But you can't help but feel as a missionary, is this going to work? Am I just baptizing her? It wasn't just to get a number, obviously. She truly did want to. But am I just setting them up for failure? Is this going to be a flash in the pan? What's going to happen? And most missionaries have doubts like that. You're just hoping everything, that the testimony stays and stuff. I kept in contact with her mother afterwards. I think it was on Facebook or something. And she ended up getting married and getting baptized, becoming Relief Society president, and then becoming Stake Relief Society president. And actually just a few months ago, 2 months ago, we were chatting online, and it had come up, and I guess she had forgotten or I had missed an email or something, I don't know. But that girl that I had baptized at 13 years old, her name was Jimena. She is now serving a mission in Panama. And she sent me some pictures of her as a missionary, and I went ahead and put them together of the day she was baptized, both of us in white, and the picture with her as a missionary with her companion in Panama with the family that they had just baptized. And I have a son now, so I know what it's like to be a father, but the joy that came from knowing that she had stayed in the gospel and had not only enjoyed living it, but loved it so much she wanted to share it with other people, and was doing so. That the 13-year-old girl that I had doubts about was now spreading the gospel and bringing others to Christ. Was sitting there in my office that day that I saw the alone with this little picture. Is probably one of the most fantastic moments I've had of seeing that little seed grow to the immense testimony that it is now in her. Was I words almost can't describe it. So